Man, thank you so much. We still have March Comes In Like a Lion for the winter 2017 season. There is no breaks. This feels amazing because good God is this season weak. But anyway, enough about my personal opinions on this rather, shitty season. Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku and I'm here to review episode 12 of March Comes In Like a Lion. And a new enemy arises. And no, I'm not talking about an opponent that Rei has to face. We're talking about Goto. Okay. Now we heard talk about this guy a little while back when Kyouko wanted to stay over at Rei's place. She said how much she loved him and that he bought her a watch. And even though he did almost leave a mark on Rei, which we saw a quick scene of that where Goto was practically strangling him. Oh man, she still loves him. And Rei was just still like, he's violent, you really shouldn't be with him. And then she's just still like, too bad I love him, too bad. So we finally meet the man, and he's a shogi player and an older man who just so happens to have a wife, but she's in the hospital. And when we see Goto, we immediately see him with a smug face. He's not versing Rei just yet. He's versing Mr. Smith. However, with this upcoming match that's going on, it's gonna be Mr. Smith versus Goto and then Rei versus his opponent. And whoever wins those two battles face off in the finals. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Goto, man. Scum, utter scum, trash. However, I do not hate him more than Kyouko. I wasn't really bugged when he was, insulting Kyouko, being all like, oh man, can you tell her to just like leave me alone? Because she's like a stalker and she's really annoying. Like, I got mad at Goto because he made Rei mad. Now, why would Rei get angry? Because he isn't particularly fond of Kyouko either. Kyouko has such an odd effect on Rei that none of us can exactly pinpoint what she really means to Rei. Because, it's shown that she kind of scars Rei, not just because of the whole violating thing, but her words just stick with him and brings him down throughout the rest of his day, the rest of the week, or maybe even years. And, that one time, remember, he actually, told her off. He was just all like, oh, don't worry, this one man, he's not gonna retire. You remember that episode? So, it's odd. Why would Rei... Maybe it's not too odd. But we see that Rei at least has some sort of brotherly connection or brotherly love for Kyouko, or maybe he feels that it's his responsibility. Maybe he feels like he owes it to Kyouko. I don't really know. Most likely that he owes it to Kyouko, since, no matter what, she's not going away. As much as I'd love for that to happen, she's not going away anytime soon or ever. Her words will always stick with Rei in the most negative of ways. And because of that, he maybe has no choice but to care for her in the slightest. So when Goto was saying that she's a stalker and that she's annoying, Rei got so mad that he was about to punch him. We've seen Rei mad before, but it was him being angry because he didn't want to be told, how to play shogi and stuff by his, friend Nikaido. But Goto insulted his sister, and he got mad. So that was very interesting. In the beginning of the episode, it's hard to interpret because he was alone and, he was eating his ramen as always, blanket over him, he's all better after being sick, and then he hears the clock ticking and he's just like, was it always so noisy? And then he starts thinking some more and more, and then he's all like, no wait, I know this feeling. I have to take a walk, I gotta go, I gotta get up, I gotta get out, I gotta take a walk. So that's what Rei did. He immediately got up because he said that he mustn't think of that name. He mustn't. And I'm just like, okay, are we talking about Kyouko here? But then later on we meet Goto, so I'm just like, okay. Kyouko has more of a bigger impact on Rei. However, he's not afraid to say her name. Maybe he just doesn't want the rest of his day to be brought down. I'm not really too sure. But in the end, we really don't know exactly what Rei meant at the beginning of the episode. Maybe we'll get back to that? Not too sure. Rei compares the sister's home to a kotatsu. Something so warm that you never want to leave. And I'm just like, oh, Rei. And just let's talk about that end scene there. That ending scene with Momo. Momo just goes up to Rei and she's like, hey, Rei, you should stay over. You should stay over. You brought all this fish. You should stay over, Rei. And Hina's just so like, yeah, we got this new puzzle that we can, play with in the morning. And Rei, he really wanted to. But he has a job, a very important match in the morning. So, oh man, this broke me. He separated himself from Momo, and Momo's just looking at him like what are you doing? What are you doing? And she's just like, oh, the sweet girl. And Rei, he handles the situation well. He looks at her, holds her hands, her tiny little hands, and he's just all like, I can't stay. I have a very important test tomorrow. And I'm just like, And then Hina's just so like, well, what do you say? What do you say? You're supposed to say, ganbate, do your best. And that's what Momo does. She's just so like, Rei, ganbate. And I'm just like, oh, that episode ended nicely. And now Rei's determined to win. He's determined, just in case if he has to verse Goto. Because we actually did see the skills of Mr. Smith in this episode. He took down his opponent so fast. Oh man, he led his opponent into a trap. Made him think that he was going to win and then BAM! Snatched it all away from him. Like, whoa! Mr. Smith! Whoa! This man! Savage! Straight up savage! Ooh! I'm excited for that match, Goto versus Mr. Smith, because we don't know how Goto plays. And Rei's opponent, he was really odd. He always did this. He was always like this. It's like he was trying to be cool, but he said these terrible puns and made these lame jokes. I was like, dude, what are you doing? He was ridiculous, but I really enjoyed this episode. It sent me on an absolute roller coaster. Let me know your thoughts on it and catch them later as a review. Bungo Stray Dogs. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.